Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great, staying safe and sane and healthy, and just everyone's getting along out there. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that I keep seeing pop up in a lot of groups, and it's starting to kind of rub me the wrong way. I've been kind of holding my tongue and not really saying anything about it, but what I'm starting to see is in a lot of these amputee groups, like on Facebook and stuff like that, um, people are sharing out all these like just uber inspirational stories about people running marathons and people lifting weights and jumping up on boxes, and they can ride their Harley still. They can, they're riding a bike, they're skateboarding, they're doing all this incredible stuff. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Those people have been working and working and working at that. Now, that's something that they have built up and something that they've been trying and trying and trying. It didn't come easy. It wasn't something they developed overnight. And it's not something that, a brand new amputee is just going to jump up and be able to do. Now, I have nothing against those videos. I have nothing against those people whatsoever. They're extremely inspirational people. Let's not confuse it. Now, the problem that I do have with it is whenever people post stuff like this to amputee groups, a lot of people in those groups are brand new amputees. So say if that's, something that they could do before and they're watching it now and watching an amputee do it, it can have a very negative response. Basically, what I'm saying is it can make people look at it and be like, dang, I used to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to do that again. Versus, man, I can't wait to get back on that. Because whenever you first lose your limb, you start to go through kind of a state of hopelessness. You kind of feel like life is over. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm useless to the world. I can't do anything. Um, and again, if you're one of those people that you did actually run decathlons and you could jump up on a box that was 4 feet tall. If you could do all that stuff beforehand and you lost your leg, and it's going to be a little bit easier adjustment for you. But these people that you're seeing doing this stuff, again, like I said, they're kind of they've been doing this for a long time, so they're kind of physically conditioned to do it, whether they started doing it after the fact when they became an amputee or whether they were doing it before and learned how to do it again, kind of adapted and learned a new method to do it. I don't know. But what I want to see people do and what I want to see people bragging about is I got up this morning, put on my leg, and it doesn't hurt. Or I got up this morning and put on my leg and I walked to the mailbox and back. Hell yeah, that's awesome. That's the stuff that to me is the most inspirational thing of all, is seeing a person adapting, seeing a person coming into their own and trying to get used to their new normal. That is the most inspirational thing of all. Seeing a person run a marathon and stuff like that, these aren't obtainable goals right now. These aren't things that, yeah, sure, you can strive for it in the future and you can look forward to it, but you really need to focus more on the people that are out there doing the most basic, simple things that are getting by in life. Study what they're doing, learn how to, maneuver like they're doing, and then you can move on to, I think I'm going to sign up for jujitsu. I think I'm going to, let some years get behind you and let some experience on your leg and all that stuff get behind you before you start worrying about, I'm going to do a marathon, I'm going to start working out. If you've never worked out a day in your life, well, when you become an amputee and all of a sudden you decided, I'm going to start working out, just to kind of prove something to the world or something like that, it's going to be way harder. It's going to be way harder than anything you ever done in your whole life. And I'm not saying that you can't do it. I have nothing but faith in people. I have nothing but, belief that if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. That's a fact. But don't set up huge, massive unobtainable goals right off the bat. do it later on. I mean, absolutely. Set something just incredible and try and try and try and try until you get it right. Now, again, don't do that in the beginning, because what's going to happen in the beginning is you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get disappointed, sad, depressed, on top of a problem that you already have. So you're basically compiling, sadness, hurt, depression with more sadness, hurt, and depression. One, because you lost a limb, and two, you're figuring out your limits. You're learning the things that you can do and the things that you can't do. And when being an amputee, when you first learn how to do certain things, and I'm sorry, when you first get home and realize that you can't do certain things, it like I've said in my other videos, it doesn't all come to you at once. It comes to you little by little. There's little things that you'll be like, oh shit, I never even thought about this. How am I supposed to do that? You know, one example, okay, the first time I went out and I was just like, I'm gonna go out without my leg. I'm gonna go get my wife coffee. Well, I got home and I sat here for a second and I was like, I have forearm crutches. How in the hell am I gonna carry coffee? It's shit you don't think about. So I had to have her come all the way back out here, get coffee, and then go back inside. So it was, which isn't a big deal. That's not a problem. But what it did was it kind of made me realize you're not yourself anymore. You can't do the certain things that you figured you could do. The things that you thought were going to be easy are now really really hard. And this is stuff that you definitely you come to realize little by little. So again, I don't want anybody to be discouraged or anything by what I'm saying, because it's not my point. My point is to work on all those baby steps, do all the little stuff, your physical therapy, your everything that your prosthetist and your physical therapist and your doctor tells you to do those things. It is very, very important. They know what the hell they're talking about. They've been doing this for a long, long, long time. So trust me when I say it's very, very important to listen to what they tell you. Um, if there's ever a time in your amputee life that you decide you do want to try to do one of those marathons, you do want to start working out, you do want to do this, do that, my best piece of advice would be consult with your prosthetist first. Um, Not necessarily your doctor. Maybe do that later, because your prosthetist might even tell you, yeah, I would check with your doctor first before we go, getting too crazy. But the things that you want to learn and things that you want to figure out about your leg is, one, if you're going to be lifting weights, is it something that's going to be able to support the additional weight? So, say if your leg's set up to hold a 180-pound person, we'll just say, well, say if you go start trying to deadlift 100 pounds, well, you're now adding to that and you're now putting 280 pounds on a leg that was designed for 180 pounds. Does this make sense? I hope it does. Um, so you got to think about that kind of stuff. The legs are very, very strong and they're tough. They're made to withstand some pounding and some beating and stuff like that. So that's not really an issue as far as running goes. You should be just fine on your knee or whatever, whether you're below the knee or above knee, it don't matter. Um, so that kind of stuff. But definitely check with your prosthetist before you start getting into any kind of regimen as far as working out, um, karate, jujitsu, any kind of martial arts or anything like that. Definitely check with them, and just kind of send your doctor a note and kind of just say, look, this is kind of what I'm wanting to do now. I'm trying to get back out there and get a little bit more physical and that kind of thing. And just kind of see what they say. They may want you to come in so they can actually look at your stump and feel the leg itself and see if there's any kind of incision problems or anything that's going to cause you to, open back up or anything like that. My amputees out there, when I say open back up, you'll know what I'm talking about. Your incision, it can, even years old, it can still come back open with, a lot of abuse and that kind of stuff. So, So definitely check with them. Make sure that everything is kosher and it can go like it should with that. Because if not, it's going to lead to a lot of problems. And if you mess up your prosthetic, that can be a very, very expensive problem, especially if it's done under abuse, meaning like you did something you're not supposed to be doing with your leg. A lot of times, your insurance company may not cover the damages. So just keep that in mind. Your socket and everything will probably be just fine. It's hard carbon fiber, but if you're in above the knee, it's going to be really, really difficult because, the hydraulics or the C leg or, even just a mechanical knee or something like that is going to, it's putting a lot of strain on it and something that, you know, it wasn't designed to do. So that's definitely something you're going to have to keep in mind and something you'll have to, ask about and inquire about. So there you go. My whole point is just don't look at these videos of people running marathons and stuff like that and get frustrated or get intimidated or envious or jealous or just none of that, because if that's something you want to do, if that's something you want to pursue later on, then go do it. That's fine. But right now, if you're just sitting in the hospital and you're just figuring out what's going on, that kind of stuff, I don't really recommend watching that kind of stuff because it can depress you. It really can, Not everybody's the same. I get it. I understand that, but it can make you sad. It can make you start reminiscing on the good times and all that stuff, and you don't really need that weighing on your brain when you're trying to cope with the impact of what just happened. So, whether it was an emergency, whether it was something that you had planned for months or years or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's still a very, very hard impact that a person is expected to take in life. And when you don't, or I'm sorry, whenever you get hit with that and you don't take it properly and stuff like that, it can really, really wear your mind down, and it can really, really wear you out as far as just it it can bring bad things. It really can. And I don't want to, exacerbate that. I don't want to have anything that's going to make, anything, you know, trigger that for you. So just work on yourself. Work on getting better. Work on, you know, your technique and stuff like that. Start walking. Take those baby steps. Like I said, just you got to crawl before you can walk. And in this case, that's exactly what we got to do. So you're very, very strong. You're an awesome, awesome, kick-ass person that's watching this. I know you are. And I want you to know that watching this stuff, it's yes, it's inspirational, but don't get wrapped up in it. Don't get too concerned about it, and don't get too I'm not going to say jealous or anything. Just don't get too envious of people that can do wild, wild things on one leg. Okay? That's the biggest takeaway here. So, there you go. The next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the people that come to my channel. You guys, my subscribers, my viewers, you know, I understand not every one of you guys are amputees. I get that. And I also understand that, a lot of my subject matter don't really apply to you. I understand that as well. But I want to say a huge, 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 massive thank you to every single person that comes to my videos, that comes, comes to lives and stuff like that. Whether you support just me, whether you just like me, or you just like the channel, or you are an amputee and you actually get something from this, or if you're a person that deals with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and you get something from that, or if it's just simply all the above, I can't thank you guys enough. I really can't. You guys are truly what makes this channel. Yeah, it's the Motivated One Legger channel, but I look at it as all our channel. And yeah, I wanted to throw that in at the very, very end of how much I do appreciate you guys and how much you all mean to me. And I try and try and try to not let you guys down, and to be a good source of motivation. And I don't want to be the, oh, poor guy with one leg, oh, I heard somebody the other day say about the Spotlight on Amputee series is, it's just a bunch of depressed one-legged people talking about their one-legged problems, and it's just like, no, no, we're trying to empower people is what we're doing. We're trying to say, look, yeah, we have this horrible shit thing that happened to us, but you know what? So what? Who gives a shit? We're going to continue to move on. We're going to continue to move forward. And if there's somebody else out there that needs help doing it, we're going to offer that help to them. That's what that is. And that's what this whole channel is about. And I don't give a shit if you have one leg or not. That doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. Yeah, it's helping people with one leg, but in all reality, what we're doing here is it's helping people and motivating them. It's pushing people along. It's there's so much negative shit out there on the internet, man, just bad stuff that it's good to have a place to come to that you can have a person say, "Hey man, good job. Don't worry about that other shit. You're doing great. Just keep on the same path. You're doing fine." You know? And that's what I try to be, and that's what I try to be for you guys, and I hope I've done that. I hope I am doing that, and I strive to continue to be that person for you guys. So again, thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate every single one of you guys for just being who you are and just being here. So, like I always say, having said all that, I love you guys. Stay happy, safe, sane, motivated, positive. Don't look back. Don't give a shit what anybody says about you, because it really don't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.